Sanibonani Kasimogo's in the making here. Welcome. Once again, we are at the ever so vibrant Granite Bar and Lounge in Ebony Park. On today's episode, we bring you a business that is a need in the community of the townships. A business that we use, a service that we use every single year for our children. However, for some reason, it is a business that was not yet commercialized. A business that in the townships, it was providing some employment here and there. However, today we interview someone who was able to uplift that business, make it formal in the townships, and that is really the beauty of it all, is how do we uplift where we are. We are with Khabonina Mnguni, a corporate giant in her own right. She has a 13-year corporate journey that she can refer back to, that she has experience from, that has allowed her to build a business. She is a finance and marketing professional formerly, and with her recently branching into entrepreneurship, she has managed in a very short time to learn some valuable lessons in entrepreneurship, and we are more than happy to have her here. Hello.
Hello, Tembisa.
How are you, Khabonina?
I'm good, thanks.
It's lovely to have you. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Just before we go into it, I think I'd like to have a little bit of background in terms of who are you in the context of Tembisa? You know, do people in Tembisa know you, or should they know you? You know, tell us who you are.
So firstly, I'd like to thank you and the Kasimogo team for this opportunity. It really is such a blessing, so thank you for having me. Mina Khabonina Mnguni, ekhaya kusemfihlweni, mina ngikhule at the time where emfihlweni we didn't even have tar yet, so I'm a Tembisan through and through. Born and bred. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Zibangwenya Supplies, also known as ZS Uniforms. And yeah, I've been corporate for 13 years, like you said, and yeah, I recently took on the entrepreneurship journey full time.
And ZS Uniform stands for?
Zibangwenya Supplies Uniform.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you guys do? What service product do you offer?
Okay, so the ZS Uniforms brand is about bringing exceptional uniform retail to Ikasletu. We're all about giving back. We're about excellence, and I think for us, we wanna ensure that we show that in the people that we service in our community, to also obviously uplift and show people what it is that can come out of Elokshini. And you know, we supply school uniforms. At the moment we service six schools, and we supply everything from school jerseys to dry mags to blazers, tunics, you know, just all school uniform needs. And like I said, we only supply 6 schools at the moment, but obviously with time we're obviously hoping to build on that, and we're opening our first retail store in the heart of Tembisa, Ewelamlambo, on the 12th of December. That's something that we're very excited about, and you know, it's just a part of, you know, bringing the retail experience of school uniform to Ikasletu.
That is beautiful. I mean, I remember growing up, and because we both grew up in Tembisa, we all know we'd have to, our parents would need to go to that place in Kempton Park,
yes,
to buy us uniform.
Yes, yes.
And it just didn't make sense.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you've mentioned your corporate career and how long it was, and I believe you were fully invested
Yes.
in your corporate career.
Absolutely.
You have probably 5 qualifications, and having all of that history and everything that you had built, transitioning to entrepreneurship, do you think that was your choice, or do you think entrepreneurship chose you? I mean, that was a big decision to make.
Absolutely. You know, Damana, thank you for that question. I think it is so relevant, and I think a lot of people in the corporate space are grappling with that. For me, I think entrepreneurship is a calling that started probably back in 2017, probably even back before I was even born, because I come from, you know, my grandparents on my maternal and paternal side were both entrepreneurs. So it's something that called me, a seed was planted by a colleague of mine in 2017, a conversation that we had. And for me, I've always looked for somewhere and a place where I belonged. You know, I'll be very honest that for me in my corporate career, I feel like I didn't find a lot of joy, but also I didn't really find a lot of achievement and success the way that I would have liked. And I know that a lot of people can probably relate to this. So yeah, entrepreneurship chose me. I think it was something that I've always been looking for a place where I belong. I've been always looking for something to enjoy, something to literally ignite and put fire in my spirit and my soul. And when we started the business and I started working on it, then I knew that this is what I was looking for. I mean, I worked in 3 different departments throughout my career, branching out from finance to marketing, which is 2 different spaces. So I think for me, I've always been searching for something, and I believe that entrepreneurship is something that chose me, and I'm so glad it did, because I'm finally fulfilled in my career.
So when did you decide to make the first move? You said the seed was planted in 2017. When did you decide to make the first move? And after deciding, what personal changes did you then have to put in place?
Yeah. So for me, in the stillness and quietness of COVID, I took up a lot of reading. Obviously, I think we all had a lot of time on our hands. And just something was prompting me to read more about entrepreneurship, to watch videos about entrepreneurship, but even just simple basics like how to start a business, what do you need? And we had the idea of the school uniforms in 2020. So it was in 2020 when the seed was planted, and that's when I started taking action. And from a personal change perspective, I had to sacrifice my time. I was juggling my full-time job with my business, so I just haven't had a lot of time to do social gatherings. I was a person that was a social butterfly, and you could say I enjoyed going out a lot. I enjoyed spending time with my friends and family. And with starting the business, I've dedicated and prioritized my time to ensure that I give my full attention and my being into it, so that it can come alive and really have the impact that I'm hoping it will one day have.
With your corporate experience, but let's also add your personal experiences in life, do you think that has shaped the kind of entrepreneur you are? And in what way has it done that?
Absolutely. For me, I wouldn't change anything about my corporate job and my corporate experience. I also wouldn't change anything about the fact that I'm starting it after 13 years of corporate. For me, from a professional perspective, I mean, things like respecting time and being able to deliver. I learned such valuable lessons from my actual experience in long-term financial modeling, in marketing, in project accounting. There's just so many skills that I learned, hard and soft skills. And from a personal perspective, like I said, I didn't succeed in my career the way that I did. And for me, that failure and those challenges of actually sort of doing the right thing, studying for so long, but then not seeing the results of that, I felt like a failure. But that failure and came with me then being fueled to actually seek more, because I wanted to do more. From a personal and professional experience, I really feel like I couldn't change it for the world. I've been blessed to have the best of both worlds, and having such a long corporate career, I think it really has shaped the entrepreneur that I am today.
I truly believe that things like work ethic, simple
Absolutely.
things like that.
Absolutely.
Then also, when you are working in a corporate space, you get to work with people.
Yes.
So it is there that you also learn how to lead.
Yes.
Because in your own business, you
Yes.
become a leader automatically.
Absolutely.
There is no time to just be an employee.
Yes.
You have people that you have to inspire, you have to motivate, that you have to show direction to.
Absolutely.
So where else would you have gotten that if not from your corporate career as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I imagine the manufacturing and retail space comes with its challenges.
Yeah.
How are you navigating those challenges? What are those challenges in that space?
I think for our business, the biggest challenges is definitely finding the right suppliers. We aren't manufacturing as yet ourselves, and finding the right suppliers. And I think it's for every business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It really is a challenge to find reliable suppliers that you can obviously rely on. And funding obviously is another big challenge. We obviously just branched out into retail, and we have those challenges of you have to do shop fittings, you have to do so much, and it needs money. So I think for us the biggest challenges have been finding reliable suppliers, and obviously the funding aspect of the business.
And you co-founded the business with your sister, twin sister,
Yes.
and you now run it with some
Yes.
family members.
Yes.
How has that enriched your entrepreneurship journey? Because I imagine if I start a business by myself and everyone in that business is someone who has been employed and who's not family, it is a different experience from actually working with family.
Absolutely. Yeah. For me, I think I'm absolutely blessed. Tina Skule Ekaya in a very big family, but Skule Sonke. So, I think for me, the fact that I'm able to work with my family, it also brings back that thing of how we grew up. I'm very, very blessed to work with my sisters. We have great skills that we're able to leverage off of, but we also are able to pass on this legacy to our children and impart it to other families who may be doubting working together. I think I'm a very family orientated person, so for me, I honestly feel so blessed that I'm able to share this journey together with my family, and obviously we're hoping to flourish together, so it really is just such a blessing.
You're very close in your family, and I imagine that your sisters, your family members have other commitments as well. So you being full-time entrepreneur, how do you bring everyone back into the vision and make sure that everyone is aligned? How do you draw those boundaries and just keep bringing everyone back?
Yeah, and I think that's an excellent question, because remember, we're of a certain age, we all work in different industries, we all have different experiences, and I think also in life we're at different spaces. But I think what we're blessed with is that I'm able to spearhead everything because I'm in full time. But I think at the essence of it is that we really just have one goal and one vision. What's great is that we know where we're going, we know what we want to achieve, and what we always come back to is the fact that, is this going in line with where we're going? We all have the same goal of obviously having the impact and just having a great business and a solid business, and that vision at least resonates with all of us, and we're able to obviously carry that through. And I know that with all the changing seasons and with life happening, we're lucky that other members of the team will also be able to be in the forefront and drive this whole initiative and what we're trying to do, and we can take a back seat. So I think we're just blessed that we have 3 different personalities and skills that we're able to leverage off of and really build something that I think is going to outlast us and have our children and our great-grandchildren talk about it for many years to come.
What have been your business funding needs so far? How are you satisfying those business funding needs?
From the funding requirements perspective, our working capital, any business, you need funding for your business to run, or money for your business to run. And even from a retail perspective, like I mentioned, retail requires a lot of cash injection in it. And we've been blessed that we've been able to bootstrap our business ourselves, and so we're funding it from our own pockets. And for me, I know that funding is something that will come, but we are able to do what we're able to do with what we have. And I think a lot of people, if they can start with what they have, yes, it takes a bit of sacrifice, some things, but you know what, once you take a step, and it was a seed that was planted in us by a friend of mine who said, guys, why aren't you taking money to start, where you are, put a little bit of money in your stock or whatever that you need. And our ancestors, and I feel like God also just meets us halfway. So we were just really blessed that with what we've had, we've been able to make provision for the business and see where it is today.
Do you think that you need money to make money?
I believe you need sacrifice to make money. So whether you're sacrificing your time, you're sacrificing your resources, there has to be some sort of sacrifice for you to make money. And Tina, we've been able to see sacrifice our time as well as our resources to be able to channel it to other avenues. And I think once you're able to do that, if you learn how to sacrifice, I think money is just inevitable. It may take time, and obviously that requires patience, but really it's inevitable. It's coming.
The type of business that you run has on and off seasons inherently. And how are you managing sort of having bloom moments and high influx of cash flow versus the quieter seasons? How are you managing that throughout the year?
I think that's a challenge I think that a lot of businesses face. With my corporate background, I'm lucky that I learned a lot of financial modeling. So I've been able to play around with the numbers, be able to forecast. And another thing that we've learned is that we have to make our money last and stretch. So I think a lot of people commit themselves to expenses that they might not be able to afford in the long term. And I feel like we're very mindful of our expenses, but we're also mindful of the cash that comes in, and we're able to make it stretch. So obviously in the quieter months, we're able to pull back from the funds that we make during our peak periods.
That's brilliant. You would need to apply the same thing if you're selling ice cream.
Absolutely.
Right?
Manage your costs. You have to.
Winter,
manage your costs. Don't engage yourself or usfage in any way it's not going to be sustainable. Where you simple things like if you're opening up a retail store and when Mvulane are the biggest and best branding or the most expensive stuff. Now, money to do other things. You're not able to reinvest in the business. It's simple things like that that I think a lot of us have to be conscious of. And it's not just your professional life or your career, in your personal life as well. Yeah.
Passion, talent, and hard work. What do you think makes for a successful business, or what combination of them makes for a successful business?
Yeah, so for me, I believe that talent is a gift. So you're born, everyone has a talent in their corner. And I watch a lot of videos like Mnguni, and he says, "Kwamele uphile ngekhono lakho." And I think a lot of people need to learn how to embrace that and own it, because that's where I think that's the start of, I think, an amazing business or an amazing career, whether it's corporate or entrepreneurship. But then that talent is fueled by your passion. And that passion, I feel like, is fueled by your hard work.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're passionate about something, the hard work will come through. But the last thing that I would add is discipline. So without discipline, you won't have hard work. And I think the combination of those four, I think it's a recipe for absolute success in whatever field that you're in and whatever thing that you're doing.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, you sort of dictate how your day goes and your time.
Yeah.
I imagine that requires a lot of discipline as
Yes,
well.
yes.
How are you managing to sticking to the things you say you will do at the time you say you will do them when no one holds you accountable?
Ntombana, I'm very blessed that I've always been a disciplined individual, very, very diligent. I had a friend of mine who used to call me morals, because I've always been the one that watches time. I watch when things are supposed to be done, and I think it's something that I've been blessed with. So I really hold myself accountable, because I think I'm a great planner. I'm very diligent and I'm very disciplined. I'm able to execute on the things that I want. But again, I think I'm just blessed that I enjoy what I do. I'm blessed that my work doesn't feel like work. And it's a place that I feel like I'm blessed to find now after 13 years of my corporate career. So I literally savor and I'm so grateful for it. And I think that's why I wake up every morning with like so much joy and fulfillment, because I finally found a place and space where I feel like I can really thrive.
What do you think it takes from you mentally, physically, emotionally to run this business?
From a physical perspective, we had a conversation earlier about, I think, the importance of training and eating well. I think when you're training, and it's something that I picked up during COVID as well, I am a very active person, but with life I slipped back and wasn't training anymore. But the energy and clear mind that it gives me, but also when you eat well, I feel like you just have energy. So if you don't take care of yourself physically, I feel like you're not able to work the long nights. And I think a lot of people can attest, whether you're in corporate or you're in business, we have very long days. We have periods where we work very hard, and working out for me from a physical perspective and eating well gives you that sustenance, right? From a mental perspective, I think that you need a lot of resilience. I think you need a lot of faith. I think it's very important to have those two aspects from a mental perspective. And then I think I'd also say you need a good support structure. From an emotional perspective, your support structure, I think, is very, very important. I'm blessed to have amazing people around me that have been able to shield me and support me in the journey that I'm on. But also I believe that you need a strong spiritual foundation. Whether you're meditating, you're praying, you need that grounding. You have to have a source, or God, or a creator, the universe. You have to have a strong foundation that grounds you, that you're able to fall back on and really help guide you in what you're doing. I think from that perspective, yeah.
Before ZS Uniforms, you already had I believe you had a strong identity, strong personal brand even as a person, and in that personal journey you created a personal network.
Yes.
In your corporate career you created the professional network.
Yes.
How has that contributed and being contributed to your business right now? How has that helped your business? And what do those networks mean for your entrepreneurship journey?
Ntombana, I think it's very important from a personal perspective. I think your personal relationships help you unwind. They help you, give you your times of leisure and enjoyment, which I think are so important. I think we work very hard, and I think it's important to take the time out to really relax and enjoy your personal time. But then from a professional perspective, I've been very blessed to meet really amazing people, very smart people, very capable people. And with opening obviously up my network with my entrepreneurship journey, you're able to collaborate, but you're also able to learn and understand people in different industries. And I think it's so important that we get out of our comfort zones and we engage with people from all walks of life, because I think they add that much value and lessons and learnings and even just relationships that help you. That 1 million rand deal that you've been working on or wishing for, it could come from a professional relationship. So I think it's very important that we balance those, but also we nurture those relationships, because I think they're very important. And I still want to stress, whether you're in corporate or whether you're an entrepreneur, it's important to balance and nurture all the relationships that you have in your life.
Because at the end of the day, relationships are the only thing robotics and automation can't replace.
Capital, absolutely.
Relationships are capital.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You sound very excited. You sound very energized by what you're doing. So can you maybe share some goals for your future?
Yeah.
Where do you see ZS uniforms?
Yeah, Domana, I really am blessed to have this much energy and excitement. It's something that I don't take for granted. So what we're looking forward in the future, we just want to service our customers very well. I think it's important that we get that right from the beginning, but also we want to obviously branch out and service more schools, but also just build a sustainable and profitable business that's obviously going to outlast us. So those are the things that we are focused on and working to achieving.
I have no doubt that you will spread far and beyond to townships outside of Tembisa. It is a brand that will not only provide a product or a service, but it is a brand that will have an impact on the people in the community. So I wish you all the best, you and your sisters and your family.
Thank you so much.
And here's to building wealthy, healthy, black families.
Thank you so much, Domana. I'm going to cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Thank you for joining us for this beautiful episode. I'm very inspired. I'm always inspired. But remember to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey there. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to see more of our tasty videos, and do not forget to hit the bell so you can get them first while they're still piping hot.